50 years ago, when Ari was born in the United States, in New York, my parents named him Ari, not Aryeh. And that wasn't a very common name back then. And many people asked my parents, Ari grew up and he was a pretty extraordinary guy, but he was a normal guy. But he had certain things about him that were extraordinary. So Ari, in the middle of his life, before his family came to Israel, he just picked up and moved to Israel by himself. He volunteered for the army. He climbed up the ranks in the army. He held in the army what was called a mag gun. A mag in Hebrew, mag is a gun that was literally built for tanks, not for human beings to hold. He climbed up the ranks of the IDF, and then he got out of the IDF. He did reserve duty, got his exemption papers at the age of 40, like we all do. He ripped them up, and he continued to volunteer. And at his funeral, his sergeant told us that he said to Ari, in the last couple of years, Ari, it's enough. You're not a young guy anymore. Give your mag to someone else. It's time. Give it to one of the young soldiers. And Ari wouldn't even hear of it. So Ari came here and literally conquered this land. He came as a hero. He lived as a hero. He died as a hero, but he really, truly conquered this land. That's one. The second thing, Ari was online 24/6. Obviously, we're observant Jews. We were off for Shabbat, but all day, every day, all night, every night, defending the Jewish people online. And, I would wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I'd say to him, Ari, what are you doing? Get off of Twitter, go to sleep. You're not even convincing this anti-Semite. He's not even listening to you. And Ari would not hear of it. He was online defending this country and this nation 24/6. He did not sleep. I don't know when the guy slept. That's the second thing. The third thing is, Ari was a 4th-degree black belt. When the rest of us pray, a lot of times Jews do this, they shuckle. Ari didn't. When he prayed, he put himself into Tai Chi, like a meditative state, and he just stood there like a brick wall. His tefillah, his davening was different than the rest of ours. Something about that prayer, I don't know what it was, but Ari was deeply fire passionate about that prayer. The last thing that I would say is that out of all the commandments in the Torah, Ari was very, very, very passionate, deeply passionate about the mitzvah of the fringes, tzitzit, that you put on your 4-cornered garment. You see pictures of him with his talit on his head. My parents opened up the Torah and they said, where did we get this name from? And here's what they found. There are 2 mentions of the word Ari in the entire Torah. I'm going to read to you the verse. They crouch, they lie down like a lion. Ari is a lion, like the king of beasts. That's what the Torah says. The second time the word Ari appears in the Torah. Lo, a people that rises like a lion, leaps up like the king of beasts. He does not sleep until he consumes his prey. A lion does not sleep. When they get up, they overcome themselves like a lion to grab the Torah commandments. Overcome like a hero, like a lion, conquer the land, and do not sleep. This is the Torah, guys. My brother was murdered. The last thing I wanted is to believe in God. How did God do this? I think God shows himself to us like this. You named him Ari randomly 50 years ago. Let me show you why you named him Ari. God said to my parents. It blew our mind.